Hey guys, welcome back to the front line. It's your girl Samar, and I can't get off of Abraham's neck. Okay, Abraham. No, I can't let this go. I really, really can't, because the more I dig into this guy and what they were doing, is the more I knew I was right. If you go back months into the archives, shout out to Sister Yolanda. If you go back months into the archives, you'll hear me say, this law, guys, is looking like the Islamic law to me. And now I feel vindicated. The more I dig into this, the more I knew I was right. Okay? And so, when I look at that law, one of the first things that stands out to me is the subjugation of women. Right? I've been hearing this word lately that really rings a bell for me. I've been hearing this word transactional. Right? Let me pause this for a second. I need to bring the folder back. Now that we got that folder back, let me show you what I'm talking about. Last week, I started to bring in this article, right? Y'all saw it at the end, okay? And I only brought that article in because I said some of what Abraham's doing is reminding me of like brothels. It's reminding me of straight up pimping, guys. I mean, it is just like women were used, shout out to Sister Yolanda again, as bargaining chips. We were used as transactional material. Can you understand what I'm saying? And these men create a religion. That subjugated us women. Yes, they did. And I want to get into it today about how your first father sinned. Where's it at? Let's get right into it. Because I told you, for them to call Adam the first prophet of Allah, that means Adam created this religion. Let's just call it what it is. And now, why would Adam want to create a religion where women have to walk 3 feet behind them? Why would Adam create a religion where women are subjugated, basically? We're going to get into some of what the sisters go through over there. Okay, we're going to get into it. But right here, Isaiah 43:27. Y'all know I love these verses. I'm armed. It says right here, your first father sinned. Those I sent to teach you rebelled against me. Let's go down to the New Living. I like it. From the very beginning, your first ancestor sinned against me. All your leaders broke my law. Now, isn't that something? Because the more I dug into this book and the more I started digging into that Ola, that Strong's number, we need to go back to that number because people don't like when we go to that number. Where's that number at? Hold on here. Is it here? No. The Allah of things. Hold on, we're going to pause it and go find. What do you know, guys? We found it. Their favorite word. The 5,900 words. Remember, we was teaching some folks that want to double down. That they're actually engaged in Islamic worship. Okay? Whether they realize it or not. You've been told, though, ain't you, homeboy? So what you continue to do is on you. But remember, you've been told, all right? You're going to be reminded that you was told while you're misleading our people. Anyway, it's this 5,900 word right here, right? This Most High, right? I opened up our photo this week, right? We ain't talk much about our photo this week. Where's that photo? Here we go. This is Abraham making a pilgrimage to Mecca. This is what we got. We got your forefather, the Hebrew, making a pilgrimage to Mecca. And you didn't even know it. I didn't know either until a few weeks ago. I really didn't. But I never put my stock in these men anyway. And when we go on this journey today, you're going to find out that a lot of these men were doing this. A lot of the... what did the Creator say right here? From the very beginning, I like this translation the best, the New Living. From the very beginning, your first ancestor sinned against me. All your leaders broke my laws. Okay? All your leaders. I saw that word linked to several of our leaders, guys. That 5,900, for the Most High God, right? I saw that linked to a lot of our leaders, guys. And I told you when we discovered that, it was going to blow the lid off of a lot of these leaders, man. So let's go for this journey today. I want to get into, I need to go to, not the Torah in Islam. All right, let me pause this. Hold on. Sorry, guys, I got a screenshot because something about Wikipedia is that if I try to save it to the main screen, it'll just save as Wikipedia. So when I'm actually digging, I'll just take a screenshot to remember what article led me to some discovery, right? And it was this article right here that was most helpful. Okay, so let's get into it. Prophets in Islam are individuals in Islam who are believed to spread God's message. What God? Allah, right? The Most High God. This is the message they're spreading, right? So anybody spreading the Most High God as a message is a prophet in Islam. Okay? If you're putting this individual's name on jackets, t-shirts, if you're putting this individual's names in songs, you are a prophet in Islam. You're not over here with Israel. You are serving Allah, and you're teaching your brothers and sisters to serve Allah as well, and you're selling the merchandise with this mofo's name slapped on the back of it. I hope you know what you're involved in. Word up. But I'm just a little guy on the totem pole, right? So what the fuck do Samar know? Okay. Alright, keep saying that shit to yourself. Here's the deal. You, sir, are involved in Islamic worship, whether you recognize it or not. I'm calling you on it. All my people over here, we recognize the Most High God as Allah. And a few of our prophets failed us. Okay, so let's keep getting into it, because we're going to find out that they were not prophets of Israel. They were actually prophets of Islam. They are not happy, all right, that it seems like women were held to a higher esteem. And these men don't like that. Starting with Adam, your first father. So I'm going to prove it. Let's go. Are individuals in Islam who are believed to spread God's message on earth and serve as models or ideal human behavior, of ideal human behavior. Some prophets are categorized as messengers, right? And they're going to refer to those as Rasuls, and those who transmit divine revelation. Most of them through the interaction of an angel. Muslims believe that many prophets existed, including many not mentioned in the Quran. The Quran states, and for every community there's a messenger. Belief in the Islamic prophets is one of the 6 articles of the Islamic faith. So you got to believe in their messengers. Muslims believe the first, this is a good one, the first prophet was also the first human being, Adam. What Samar told y'all. Didn't I tell you Adam is angry, right? So if we believe what we figured out here on the front line, which that is Adam is the one kicked out because thou is singular, right? I don't give a goddamn how many Adams you give me. Thou is singular. It was for that Adam. It was not for me, sir. And I'm made in the image of my mama. You can't curse Israel, because Israel's blessed. Let's keep going. Muslims believe the first prophet was also the first human being, Adam, created by God. Many of the revelations delivered by the 48 prophets in where Judaism, who prophets of Judah, the Canaanite lineage. No surprise we would see Judaism in here. And many prophets of Christianity, I think that's the Moses connection, are mentioned as such in the Quran with the Arabic versions of their names. For example, the Jewish Elisha is also Elasa. Job is Ayub. JC is Isa. The Torah given to Moses, Musa, is also called the Torah. So they mention the Torah being given to Moses. Now here's my thing. It's written by these men. That's all I'm going to say, guys. It's written by these men. We're drawing some conclusions here that I think our books, and you're going to find out that there was this thing called the oral Torah too. So I believe it was really passed down orally. The Psalms given to David is the Zabur. The Gospel given to JC is the Injil. The last prophet in Islam is Muhammad ibn Abdullah, whom Muslims believe to be the seal of the prophets, to whom the Quran was revealed in a series of revelations and written down by his companions. Now listen, we see Jacob with multiple wives, right? What do you think he was practicing? It said all your forefathers, didn't it? But let's keep going. The last prophet was Muhammad. Muslims believe, let's get down here, the Quran is the divine word of God, thus immutable and protected from distortion and corruption, destined to remain in its true form until the last day. Although Muhammad is considered the last prophet, some Muslim traditions also recognize and venerate saints. In Islam, every prophet preached the same core beliefs. Right? And if you are talking about the Most High God, you are teaching the same principal beliefs too. The same core ones. The oneness of God, worshiping of that one God, the Most High, right? Avoidance of idolatry and sin, go figure. And the belief in the day of resurrection and the day of judgment and life after death. Those all sound like Christian beliefs too, right? So do you see how these things overlap? Prophets and messengers are believed to have been sent by God to different communities during different times in history. Who are there no prophets? Yes, I like this graph. I like this graph right here, because you're going to see who's sent, right? Now check it out. Look, Noah is in there. I told you guys something is up. Something is up. Lot, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob. They don't have Jacob as a prophet though. They've got Moses. See, Moses is fitting. See, when you get to the two green bars, they're going to say that you're a messenger, right? Or an ark prophet, right? Like a patriarch, huh? So if you've got those two green bars, now they don't make Adam an ark prophet, even though he's the first, right? The second one is going to be Idris, which they're saying is Enoch. And the third, they're saying this is Noah, because they're showing these people in the Quran as well, guys. So we got to get to this. A merchant sent to the tribes. Who's this guy? You selling merch, huh? You selling the Most High God's merch? Oh, you dirty prophet. You dirty prophet of Islam. Check it out. Abraham's got both of those green right there, right? So he's not only a messenger, but he's also an ark prophet. So you see that in Noah. They won't even give that right to Abraham. You see, not Abraham, Adam. You see Noah as one, right? You see Abraham as an ark prophet messenger. Moses. And JC, Okay? And who's this last person? They're not going to say. Seal of the prophet. They don't list. Muhammad. Well, Muhammad is. Okay? They going to say Muhammad is the last. Ark prophet, messenger. And JC, okay? So in case you thought Samar's making this shit up. All right? And we already proved that this Allah is the Most High God, right? Those Strong's 5900 numbers, right? Their oak, the 427, this is what they're up to. Scriptures. During the time of Muhammad's revelation, the Arabian Peninsula was made up of many pagan tribes. His birthplace was Mecca. This is the pilgrimage that everybody's taking. I want to get down to here to the holy books of Islam. The revealed books are the records which Muslims believe were dictated by God to various Islamic prophets throughout the history of mankind. All these books promulgated the code and law of Islam. Now, what does that sound like? The revealed books are recorded, right? Which Muslims believe. Don't this sound like something Christians believe too? Don't Christians believe that the book is dictated by God to the who? The men. I told y'all a long time ago that a cursed being can't save me. Right? And I wasn't trying to be funny. However, right, this is what was told to Adam. He cannot reach his hand out. Right? Adam cannot stretch his hand out. The man. Right? This is what is told to Adam. So, if that's told to Adam, why would I be looking to Adam to save me? Do you see what I'm saying, guys? I have told y'all a long time ago, this is why the women have to wake up. Because men have written this for you. It is men's desire that you should perish somehow, some way, okay? Spiritually, physically, I don't know, because now we're figuring out that some of these belief systems have been given to us by men. So we're basically back to a new understanding, guys. Right? The men will have you follow them off of a cliff, men, because they don't want to listen to the women. And this is an extreme case of men not wanting to listen to women. Therefore, you got to walk 3 feet behind me. I don't care that you are in a divine image. I don't care that you're in mama's image. You better get behind me, lady. If they call you a lady, right? Because we know the word running around for a woman that you got no respect for, right, man? This is coming from an ancient belief system given to you by your first father who sinned. It told us your first father sinned. This is what he was doing. It says he was the first prophet. And what do you got? Abraham sinning. The belief, it says right here, in all the revealed books is an article of faith in Islam and Muslim beliefs. They must believe in all the scriptures to be a Muslim. The Quran mentions some Islamic scriptures by name. The Torah, okay? That's the book we've been reading. Is the Arabic name for the Torah. Sorry. Written within its context as an Islamic holy book believed by Muslims to have been revealed to the prophets and messengers amongst the children of Israel. What? When referring to traditions from the Torah, which is the Torah, guys, which is what Judah gave us, right? Remember, I kept telling y'all, Muslims have not only identified it with the Pentateuch, but also with the other books of the Hebrew Bible as well, with the Talmudic and the Mashredim writings. Remember what I told y'all. Samaria had the Pentateuch. We weren't going with the Torah. So I mean, I struggled with my first video where I said that we don't know Torah. I started to erase it, but no, I like showing y'all how green I was. I don't mind showing y'all my vulnerabilities and taking y'all on this journey with me and allowing y'all to see I'm learning right along with y'all. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of that, okay? So I left the video up to show y'all the growth over here. To show y'all we're not talking about no one man and making almost 200 episodes about that nigga. I wish we would. No, we're not talking about men over here. We're talking about whose images we are created in over here. That's what we're doing. All right, so it says the Torah is the Arabic name for the Torah within its context as an Islamic holy book, believed to have been revealed to the prophets and messengers amongst the children of Israel. So they believe that book is sent amongst the messengers and prophets of the children of Israel. And who they start mentioning? Moses, Abraham, right? Let's keep going. The Quran mentions the Zabur, interpreted as being the book of Psalms, right? By good old David. The book of divine wisdom, the Quran mentions certain books of divine wisdom. The Injil was the holy book revealed to who? This dude right here. Right, you might as well say this is like a Judahite line over here. According to Muslim belief, the gospel was the message JC being divinely inspired, preached to the children of Israel. They talk a lot about the children of Israel in this Quran, though, don't they? How did y'all not know that there's this link? The Quran was the revelation revealed to Muhammad. Scrolls of Abraham are believed to be one of the earliest bodies of scripture which were given to Abraham. Huh? Not Abraham. I've lifted up mine hands. Right? What'd he do? What'd he do? I got to go find that because I can't help myself, guys. I just can't. I got to find Abraham talking about I've lifted up mine hands. Where you go? Right here. I've lifted up, right here in 22. I've lifted up my hands unto the Lord. I have lifted up mine hands. Right? Mine hand unto the Most High God. Right? That's what Abraham's doing. Yeah. That's what some of these wayward sons on this platform got people doing. And digging in their heels. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? All right, so let's keep going, right? So we're finding out that Abraham, I've lifted up mine hands. All right, so in Islam, the Torah is regarded as an Islamic holy book that was revealed by God to guide the Israelites. Didn't I tell y'all that in Samaria, they only had the first 5 books, right? Which wouldn't have even included Job. If you think about that, right? They keep telling us Job is the oldest book, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't have even included Job, right? Now, they're also going to tell us about the oral Torah, which I told you this is what your mama was passing down. Oral law. According to Judaism, the oral Torah or oral law are statutes and legal interpretations that were not recorded in the 5 books of Moses. What? What? That law written on your heart? The written Torah, right? And which are regarded by Orthodox Jews as prescriptive and given at the same time. This holistic code of conduct encompasses a wide swath of rituals, worship practices, God-man, and interpersonal relationships with dietary laws to Sabbath and festival observance, to marital relations and agricultural practices and civil claims and damages. According to rabbinic Jewish tradition, the oral Torah was passed down orally in an unbroken chain from generation to generation. Now, this is why it would make sense for you to wipe out the wise woman, right? Because she can't pass down that oral Torah, right? And then you think because you wipe her out that it's done, right? You thought you were so smart, right, man? But you didn't realize this law is written on our hearts. It's in our DNA. We got cellular memory. You couldn't wipe that out, could you, man? You damn sure tried hard, though. It's passed down generation to generation until its contents were finally committed to writing, following the destruction of the Second Temple, when Jewish civilization was faced with an existential threat by virtue of the dispersion of the Jewish people, of the who? The Judahites. Because they had wiped you out, Ephraim. They had gotten Assyria to come in and do all kinds of abominable things to you. So they didn't have to worry about you no more. They had wiped you out. Yeah. And what we got are the Judahites. Let's go. The major repositories of the oral Torah are the Mishnah, compiled between 200 and 220 CE by Judah Hanazi. Okay? Judah. And the Gemara, a series of running commentaries and debates concerning the Mishnah, right? Which together form the Talmud in the preeminent texts of rabbinic Judaism. In fact, two versions of the Talmud exist, one produced in Galilee, the Jerusalem Talmud, right? Are there any Israelites in Jerusalem? Absolutely not. And a second, more extensive Talmud compiled by Jewish Babylonia. Of course they did that then. Belief that at least portions of the oral Torah were transmitted orally from God to Moses on Mount Sinai during the Exodus from Egypt is a fundamental tenet of faith of who? Orthodox Judaism. And is recognized as the 13 principles of faith. Okay? Listen, these men... The term oral Torah should not be understood as a monolith. The Jewish Encyclopedia divides the oral Torah into 8 categories ranked according to the relative level of authoritativeness, which are found within the Talmud. Okay, so they know that this was not theirs to do. That's why it says respect your mama's Torah, right? Who was supposed to hand down this oral Torah? Your mama. Your mama. Oral tradition, oral history, oral law. They know what time it was. Divine source and transmissions. Rabbis of the Talmudic era conceived of the oral Torah in 2 distinct ways. Tradition saw the oral Torah as an unbroken chain of transmission. The distinctive feature of the view was the oral Torah was conveyed by word of mouth and memorized. They saw the written Torah as containing many levels of interpretation. It was left to later generations who were steeped in the oral tradition of interpretation to discover those interpretations not revealed by Moses. Instead, Moses was obligated to impart the explanations orally to students, children, and fellow adults. It was thus forbidden to write and publish oral Torah. Okay. We just got the book they've been giving us, passed down from man to man. Okay, who begot who? And nobody realized that something ain't right with this. Something ain't right. Look, similarly, many procedures are mentioned without explanation or instruction or assumed familiarity on the part of the reader. For example, the discussion of slaughter in Deuteronomy 12 states, you shall kill of your herd and of your flock, which God, Lord, has given you, Allah, right? Or JC, whoever they pushing, because I'm not sure who Moses was pushing. As I have commanded you, without any clear indication of what have been commanded. Only in the oral Torah are the various requirements of ritual slaughter explicated. And I don't even think this is in oral Torah. All right, this is them making an assumption that it is, okay? Look at this. Moreover, according to the rabbinic view, without an oral law, blind adherence to the plain text of certain Torah commandments would cause the practitioner to violate a commandment elsewhere in the Torah, or could lead to unethical acts. Thus, a priori, a set of supplemental instructions must have been provided. A classic example involves the phrase an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, a foot for a foot. Is held in the oral tradition to imply monetary compensation as opposed to literal. Note also the interpretation as monetary compensation. The oral Torah is similarly needed to explain commandments as well as action of biblical actors, seemingly discordant with other verses. The marriage of Boaz and Ruth appears to face to contradict the prohibition against marrying Moabites. Really, before we get to that, they marry a Canaanite. Okay, the whole line of Judah is a Canaanite. All right, so if you want to be Judah, you want to be a Canaanite. All right, you're a Canaanite. You might as well just start getting used to that. Okay, so there was this oral Torah as it concerned Israel. I want to talk about the Muslims look like they face in the east when they pray, right? Islam researcher Issa has explained why Muslims always face the east each time they pray. He made this statement trying to prove that Ghanaians that indeed Islam was not birthed out of idol worship. What? He's doing a bad job because Samara's over here proving it's exactly birthed out of idol worship. Okay? So you can believe that over here on the front line. According to him, Muslims believe they have to face the sacred Kaaba when they pray because it is the holy place. Also, it's also an instruction we have to obey from the Holy Prophet Muhammad. In an interview with this reverend, right, shared it was an instruction from the Holy Prophet Muhammad for us to face Kaaba because he believes that is where Allah resides. We pray facing the direction of the east because we believe once we pray facing there, our prayers go to him directly. I wonder who's this him. Do they got Adam buried in this little thing that they got over there? You know, it's some box. You know, I showed y'all in that picture with Abraham. It says he cleared the misconception being spread by most people about Allah residing in Kaaba. Hence, they face Kaaba to get him to answer their prayers. It's not true. No, we just face the east to show we're facing the holy place. That doesn't mean Allah resides in Kaaba. They don't even know, okay? Here it is, all these years they're doing this, and these people don't even know. Quotation master in an interview some months ago emphatically stated that Islam was a religion full of confusion and alleged the religion was birthed out of idol worship. You got them calling on the Most High God. You got Israel involved in idol worship. Okay? Let me make it real big and plain for you. Because I know y'all tune in. You should like the video once in a while for me. You know I'm blowing it out the water. You just don't want to admit it because your ego is hurt. Man, your ego is hurt. How dare this daughter find some information like this and blast it all over YouTube? You goddamn right. I'm going to do it every time I get a chance. Because your first father sinned. Right? All your leaders broke my law. Well, who have been the leaders? It's been you, man. It has been you. You better humble yourself. And know that I ain't talking to mama's sons. I hope I can get to a place where I don't have to keep reaffirming that. I hope y'all know that solidly. I'm not talking to mama's sons. Shout out to Michael Brown, man. Nah, there need to be more Michael Browns. Mama needs you. Your first father sinned, your mediators transgressed against me. Your first father sinned, and your spokesman rebelled against me. Thy first father sinned, and thy teachers, have transgressed against me. Thy teachers, You think it's your job to lead some sort of nation, don't you, sir? You're transgressing against the Creator. I hope you know what you're doing. I'm here to tell you what you're doing. You are just as bad as this mofo right here, making that pilgrimage to Mecca. Okay? You got them calling on Allah. And check out what Adam loves to do to women. This is his religion. Islam and women's right, overcoming inequality. Didn't I tell you when they came here, we had an egalitarian society where men and women shared equality. Do I have that here? I'm not under subjection like these women over there, but I tell you what, if I get out of line, you're here to put me back in place, right? By the might of your arm, you're going to bust my ass and put me in place, right? That's what's here. Domestic violence rates are out of control here. Femicide rates are out of control here. You think it's your job to keep me in line. I've given birth to you. You hold 10% of my body weight, and you think it's your job to keep me in line. You're confused, sir. You got a lot of work to do. And you don't even realize it, but you're supposed to keep me in line? I think not. Absolutely not. I'm trying to help you get back on track, sir, because the men have misled you. What did it say? Divinely inspired to the men, the leaders. It's been the men. Tamar's trying to wake you up, and I know it sounds like a lot of women praising over here. Who else is doing it for us? I'm here to tell you, I'm made in her image, and her image is wisdom. I don't give a goddamn how many times they tried to tell you that that man was wise. They wrote that. They wrote that. I was orally passing down this tradition. Let's go. Religion in general, and Islam in particular, are women's enemy. Women's inequality is God's commandment. In Islam, enshrined in immutable law by Muhammad. No, Muhammad got this from Adam and eventually recorded in scriptures. In most countries under Islamic State or under the influence of Islam, Quran directives are incorporated into contemporary law. Family law in these countries generally follows the prescription of Quran. Veiling, divorce laws, a very young legal age of marriage. Custody, where do we see that? Okay, they love this law. The men love it. Custody of children, polygamy, women's rightlessness in matters of employment, traveling, choosing the place of residence, honor killings, are all aspects of Sharia based on the Quran and Islam's doctrine. Okay. Women are stoned to death, sounds like the Torah, right, for engaging in voluntary sexual relations, and are stripped of their basic human rights. And they say that this is not according to real Islamic law. Women are the inferior sex. Yeah, this is what they keep thinking. The rigid laws of Islam have deprived half of the population of their basic human rights. The male is in charge of the female. And the subjugated half is led to believe through the teachings that the supremacy of man is the will of who? The Most High God, right? That the man should be superior. Okay, so you know this don't have nothing to do with Israel, because Sarah, remember her, right? She's the chief. So, no, she's not inferior. Okay, but this is what the men like. They want to dumb her down. And it has been predestined for women to live as submissive, obedient wives. They're forced to accept that women are inferior to men. Their testimony is equal to only half that of man, and they should inherit half of the male share. That Allah doesn't want to see any woman unveiled, that she may not conserve. But yet the Creator made you so beautiful that the Creator wants you covered up. Whatever. That she may not conserve with men except her father or her brother. They are brought up with the conviction that it is Allah's command for them to be under male dominance, and their fates are interwoven with that of men. I want to get down to one of the most misogynistic Islamic laws with respect to women is the requirement for complete veiling in accordance with Quran tenets. Muhammad instituted that one, so even Adam wasn't even trying to subjugate that much. Muhammad they got to come and put their own stamp on stuff, okay? Satan, see, they started with this Satan stuff, okay? Israel wasn't kicking this stuff. Look at this. The wild and naked misogyny in the Quran. The most despicable expression one can ever come across is that according to Hadith, women of heaven will be created in such a way that after each sexual intercourse, they will become virgins again. What a wild, naked misogyny. You don't say. But see, this is why I tell y'all, it sounds a lot like Torah with this multiple wives stuff. And okay, the man can just, according to Quran, the Islamic law, a man has the right to terminate his marriage whenever and wherever he pleases. It's the absolute power of a Muslim male to repudiate his wife unilaterally at his discretion. He needs no reason for a divorce. A family quarrel or bad temper is sufficient. Divorce does not require any court, judge, lawyer, or counselor. One phrase from a husband is enough to break the bond. Isn't that something? You are dismissed. Okay? He could just say, okay, imagine giving somebody 20 years of your life for this mofo to turn around and say, you are dismissed. He can divorce her and call her back up to 3 times. Now, isn't that nice for men? Isn't that nice? Fear of poverty keeps many women locked in bad marriages, as does the prospect of losing their children. You know what? My life would be so much easier right now if I had a man. My life would be so much easier. You know, half the bills would probably be paid, right? Or if not all of them. Listen, before I decided to go on this journey with Mama and separate from my previous husband, I thought that it was my job to be a loving, doting wife. And that I was going to be safe. I had a covering. He presented himself as a covering. I had a covering. Little did I know I already had a covering. Okay? Because I made it her image. And Mama Eve was raised to the mother of the living. So I made in her image. I already had a covering. When I think of Sarah just being used as some sort of bargaining chip, I ask myself, what does marriage look like for men? Because for me, I had a view of it much different, but I knew that it would keep me, in my mind, safe, right? Need that male to keep me safe. You know what? I'm the safest I've ever felt right now. Believe me, I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not. I could have an easier life if I so choose to by having a man in my life. But you know what? Not having one in my life allows me to use a lot more of my brain to get stuff done. It damn sure did. And I keep my cousin in amazement. He's like, how'd you do that? I use my brain. I don't have arm muscle to rely on, sir. So I've gotten me out of poverty. Okay? Y'all don't understand. Samar is going to be okay. Mama has made sure of it. Samar got land. Samar goes out there, and I ain't afraid to pick up a shovel. I've killed a rattlesnake on my own on my land. Okay? I'm not here to say I can do everything a man can do, because we're created differently. We are. And that's why I will need some of Mama's sons with this vision of restoring our plane. Okay. But yeah, these poor women decided to do this because they didn't want to be in poverty. Typically, their fathers win custody of the boys over the ages of 6, okay, and girls after the onset of puberty. How the father is going to win custody of the girl after the onset of puberty, what is that telling you? She is a bargaining chip. Now, I could say, hey, I could give you my daughter. Why would a father need to get the daughter after the onset of puberty? I'm going to tell you why. Let's get on down here. The legal age of marriage. At the age of 9. Some of these girls ain't even gone through puberty yet. At the age of 9. Right? At the age of 9, based on lunar year, when a girl is actually 8 years and 8 months, she's considered an adult and has to pray, fast, and cover herself by hijab. Eligible to be married. You read that right. This is this Most High God that you're giving reverence to. Your God allows a child to be married at the age of 8 and 8 months, provided it lines up with the moon. This is what your God does, sir. Mister, I'm a double down and continue to tell the people of Israel to call on this God. Your God will allow them to marry. And maybe you like this rule, right? Maybe this is beneficial to you. Okay? Or maybe you'll put this filthy shit down and stop trying to come to mama with dirty hands. But your God, the Most High God, allows a child to be married at the age of 8 years and 8 months, provided it lines up lunarly. And ask her to pray, facing Mecca in the sun, pray east, and to fast and cover up. This is what your God is doing. Adam's laws. Right? Let's just call it what it is. Adam's the first prophet. This is Adam's law. Adam done made up Allah. Adam might very well be Allah. I don't think he's given no reverence to nobody else but his goddamn self. Okay? Muhammad's favorite wife. This is Muhammad, okay? The last prophet, the favorite wife. No, he ain't the last prophet. You are, sir. Most High God. Aisha, according to evidence, was 6 when Muhammad met her, and 9 when the marriage consummated. Do you know what that means? Let's highlight it. Let's go on down. Let's go on down to consummated. Make a marriage complete by having sexual, in case anybody wasn't sure, right? They're going to have sexual intercourse to make this. That's what consummated means. So at 9 years old, he consummated his relationship with Aisha, but met her when he was 6. So he spotted her at 6 years old. This pervert. Keep giving your reverence to this God right here. Adam's God. Because Abraham, Adam, and Allah are one and the same. Yeah, it said Adam is the first prophet, who I believe made this religion up, and who I believe is in fact Allah, who Abraham, where we go? Let's go back to my favorite verse. Oh, it's over here. Abraham has lifted hands up to. Let's go. We're going to close right here. I've lifted up mine hands. Number 22. I've lifted up mine hand to the Most High God. And what I say? It ain't no hard gig. It ain't. It ain't no hard dig to discover that the Most High God is Allah. And that these mofos, this inspired word, is questionable, guys. Thanks for getting in the van. I'll see y'all next week. Much love to the front line. Let Mama guide you.